Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday Night Live with Bill Tucci.
Behold his mighty hand.
Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang.
Just want to manage expectations.
Moo! Bah!
This is the worst.
So that's what a cool intro looks like. I gotta get me one of those.
You gotta get
goes
one
the
of those.
bell. Yeah, you gotta get one.
Post. I like that. I like that, Aaron.
Pick me up,
Post.
Aaron. Yeah.
I will.
Freaking tired. What's happening, Broheems?
Dude, I have not recovered. I am still tired. I got home Sunday night, or I guess we should say Monday morning at 1 a.m. Didn't get to bed till 2. Then I had to get up at 7 to take Shelly to the doctor. Then the next morning, or was a Tuesday morning, I had to get up at 3 to take my daughter to the airport to go to Phoenix because she's choreographing some dance stuff for a studio there. And so, then Wednesday, I finally got a little bit of sleep. And then last night, my stupid dog wakes me up at 4 a.m. and then at 7 a.m.
Oh, my Lord.
Inconsiderate dog.
Selfish people you surround yourself with.
I'm just reeling, man. I need sleep. I need rest. I'm just not getting it. So I work on. I continue on.
Yes, especially the night that we had out.
That's true. Boy, that was
Good Lord.
good times, especially polishing it off with that bread pudding. It's a good thing that I had to walk clear across town to get back to my hotel because I put on a few calories that night.
Oh, I bet you did. I mean,
More of Lopresti's belly aching.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
well,
was
Leg
fine
Kick's
night.
going to get a cannonball Sunday for all the lip he's been giving me on the last
Leg-
3
I
days.
think Leg Kick has been wishing for a cannonball.
I think so.
I think what he's been doing. But the man of the hour is here, Mr. Aaron Lopresti.
It's me.
And It's just exciting. Like, what was this all about?
Oh yeah.
How do I get it that we can
No.
be on the side or the bottom or something?
No, I
You can't.
I often say that I'm a beer a year guy. I have one beer a year, generally speaking. And this was that occasion. It was a special occasion. We were out eating like wild game. And I thought I should have some sort of dark Bavarian type beer or something to go with this wild game. And so that's what I did. It was pretty good.
It was good. That was a fine night. So for those that may or may not know, Lopez and I went out with Deb, and we took Dave Stevens' sister Jennifer out to dinner.
Yes.
My two buddies, Michael and Steve Perros, and who else was with us?
J.C. Vaughn.
J.C. Vaughn.
J.C.
What a-
Vaughn.
what a
Of the
murderous
Overstreet
show.
Price Guide fame.
Yes, and Aaron drank that beer, and look at the grin. That's actually his 4th beer.
No.
I don't know. I see some red cheeks.
I had to save room for that bread pudding,
Yes.
which was a meal unto itself.
Did I have any dessert? I don't even remember.
No, you didn't. You shut down the table when the guy came by. He goes, "You guys want any dessert?" Billy's like, No, we're good. And I'm like, "Whoa, slow down, big fella.
Low down, cowboy.
I want some bread pudding." So
Did I really say no? We don't want dessert.
yeah, you did. Shut everything
Everybody?
down.
I could picture that. What were you drinking that night, Billy? What'd you have?
So I
One,
drank
2 bottles of wine, 3
Nope, I
bottles
drank-
of wine.
Nope, scotch all weekend, except for the last night. And I had some wine the last night. We went out for Italian Monday night, and we had a little scotch, so that was nice. But for the most part, I'm sorry, we had wine. I didn't have scotch. I had wine Monday night. And the rest of the show, I just had scotch because I could function on that. And I can get up right as rain, smoking cigars outside in the evening with Aaron, of course. Him and Fraga were blowing fatties up on the Marriott roof. Very, very. But I got a bone to pick with you, Mr. Lopresti.
Here it comes.
Great show, right? Fantastic show.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently, though, some of us had better shows than others. I saw that you did a gorgeous sketch for Jennifer Backham, Stevens Backham, Dave's sister, a Rocketeer helmet, because she gave the book to me to do afterwards. And did she give you something? Hey, Christina.
Did she did. She she tried to pay me, and I said, no, we're friends now. That's cool. And then she goes, well, let me give you some swag. And I said, well, I'll take swag any day, right?
Yes.
And she gave me some swag. Do you want to see what she gave me?
Yeah, I'd like to see what she gave you. Let everyone see what she gave Mr. Aaron Lopresti. Oh, boy. So you got a challenge coin. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, look at this. And look at this. Limited edition of 140.
Only 140. Take it out of the bag so we can see the back of that.
No.
So that's all you got for her?
She also gave me this.
As I said, some of us got more than others.
Are you saying you got no swag?
Well, because I too did a Rocketeer helmet sketch for Jenny.
Yes.
Well, she doesn't like Jenny. I just call her Jenny because of the movie. But I too got a Rocketeer.
Oh, you did?
Oh, you sneaky guy.
Okay, I thought maybe you got robbed.
No, but I only got one coin.
Well, why don't you take it out so we can see the back, Billy?
No, I'm not taking it.
See, that's what I thought.
Actually, you can peel it out. You can.
Oh, you can?
Oh, you can.
Peels. Oh, let's take it out.
Oh, be gentle. Be gentle.
Oh, she just scuffed it up. Now it's worthless.
The front. Look at that. 3-dimensional.
Yeah. Very
Back,
nice.
look at a bullet. Look at a bullet hole.
Look at the
I
bullet
know.
holes,
It's great. This is awesome.
What a great logo. Just what a great character design. And here's the back. Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Gorgeous.
With Dave Stevens.
Really takes off, Really just takes off of that coin.
Yeah.
The Rocketeer Trust, personally from Jennifer.
So we've got we have 2 of the 140 in existence.
That's it. And then I got something else though.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
I got an artist proof pen.
What?
It's a pen. It's a Rocketeer. You know what happens there, Scala? When you get old, the eyes start going.
Yes.
So is the computer, apparently. Wait a minute. You froze up. What did you show that again?
I'm frozen up.
You were.
You're not now, but you were.
Why do you got that light in our eyes?
Oh, I want to read
I feel
it.
like I'm being interrogated.
This is Rocketeer 40th anniversary fine writing instrument by Retrosi. It's got what does it say?
So there's a pen in there?
Yeah, there's a pen.
In that big tube, there's just one.
Big tube is one pen, unless it's one of them like confetti poppers, which would be kind of cool too.
Unless there's something else in there with the pen.
No, I'm not opening it though. I'm not going to be. Lopez is not going to guilt me into opening it. But look how cool it is. She called this one the artist edition. She gave me a choice of 2.
Oh,
but I think because we bought her dinner, and she was so gracious and came by so many times. And that was just, man, I mean, just meeting so many people, right?
Yes.
Aaron, and then my goodness, you got to meet Dan Fraga for the first time. Is that true?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, super chat, Billy.
Yeah. So apparently, he gave you my $2. I don't know.
Was going to give this to Aaron, but Cannonball. LOL.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now he's going to get 2. Shorted me on the cash and then gave me lip for the last 3 days. So
Lopez, we only hung out one night. I swung by the booth. Thank you for coming by our booth.
Hey, now I was by there early in the morning.
Were you really?
Yeah, but there was no one to be seen. I guess you guys were out. You got hammered the night before, and you're coming in late. I don't know.
It could be,
but I couldn't go during the day. I didn't have anybody to watch my booth.
Well, I understand. That sucks because you could have called me. I could have had my son Matthew watch it for you as you ran to do your daily constitution.
Well, I did I did have enough people drop by that I could take bathroom breaks. So, watch this for 5 minutes, will you, while I run to the can kind of thing.
Yeah, you're like, hey, Dan Cherrigan, sit in my booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Dan. Well, you were there when Dan Jurgens stopped by, and we
Yeah,
had a big, very interesting kind of insiders chat on the industry.
very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
really?
we're gonna have to sit down and have a powwow and see if we could discuss with everyone else. But I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
if they want us to talk about that. I heard something else about the Eisners that someone high up at the Eisners told me about.
Oh, no.
And that something happened, something occurred, but I don't know if I can. I'll talk to you guys about it and see if we could share it. But it might be too hot to handle, if you know what I mean.
Wow. I'm liking it already.
I'm loving it. But
I got to meet Star Wars girl, Anna.
Oh, yes, we did too. I got a delightful picture.
Me
I don't know
too.
if you want to share yours. Where's Anna with us? And she
Okay.
was cute as a button. She came by every day. Here she is. There's the adorable Star Wars. She was Barbie, like I don't know what kind of Barbie.
Tennis Barbie?
Tennis Barbie, and she's just like she's like a little kid. She comes on, hey, but she looked adorable, and it was so fun to see her. And she stood in front of my booth for about 5 minutes because everybody was taking pictures of her.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Well, she came by my booth a couple times. I got to see her just in regular clothes, and then as 7 of 9 here is the picture I've got. If somebody wants to share that.
Yep.
And then she came by as Wonder Woman, but I wasn't there. I was taking one of my. Actually, you know what? I was in there trying to figure out how to sign up for my booth next year, because they used to give you the paper.
Yes.
And it was just like you just filled it out, you went and gave them the money, and you were done.
Yes.
Now it's like you got to fill it out online, and then you got to go pay after you fill it out online, and it was just.
Debbie was working on that today. Oh, the great Renzini.
Them Bobies.
Yeah. So
what's
I met her. I met her fiance too.
Beans.
Yes, Peaches was there. What a sweetheart! A delightful chap.
Seemed like a good guy. Kelsey's very upset about all this, but he'll recover, I think.
Yeah, Kelsey might
We'll find a new muse.
Yeah, but I approve.
Cecil's really been hitting the gym even harder now since that broke.
Yeah.
I think it did break. I think Cecil's been on a mission now for something. Who knows what? But but that was a lot of fun. And then something else occurred, Lopez. Something super exciting occurred, and this. But that's me with Dan Fraga. But bro, you met Dan Fraga, right? For the first time in person. Is that?
Are you wearing a pirate shirt, Billy? You got a pirate shirt?
Yeah, because I wore the Dave Stevens pirate shirt.
Okay, good.
Did you have a kilt? Did you have a kilt?
Not with that shirt, no.
Okay. Well, Dan came by, and we met Dan in person for the first time, and then he kept coming back regularly because he was out buying artwork. It was really cool, and he'd come by and go, "Check this out, man!" And then we check it out, and then he'd go away, and a few hours later he'd come back and look at this, And so he was keeping me updated on all of his art buys.
Yeah, he was on an adventure. That guy, he was loving it because he had his few panels, and then he had his movie premiere. Which that's when we had dinner, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yes,
we weren't invited, so we decided to have dinner.
Yeah, we weren't invited. And no matter how many hints I threw at him, Aaron.
Yeah, just didn't, nothing.
What was it? What's his movie?
We don't know. We're not invited.
Oh.
It was a documentary about some guy, and I'd never heard of him before. That's why I can't think of the name. But he was apparently he did like a kids art show, like in the 80s. And they tried to grab I guess some professionals that watched the show when they were kids, and he was an inspiration to them. And so then they did a documentary on this guy. So Fraga was interviewed on this documentary. And so they brought him out to kind of for the premiere and everything, since he was in the movie, I guess. So
Indeed.
But it's like a guy was like Captain Wanker, something like that. I don't know.
Captain Wanker.
Well, probably not Wanker, but
Captain Tuggy.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what his name was, but apparently a very popular show in the 80s with a certain crowd. So
Captain Bob, maybe?
No, it was
Captain Geach in the Shrimp Shack.
Captain
that
Nobber
was closer, I think. What Captain what?
Nobber?
Nobber? No,
Bill
I don't think that was it.
I did see speak out someone famous. I saw Bill Nye, the science guy.
Did you punch him?
Really?
No, he was across from us. He dresses up like a samurai C-3PO. and that's
should
Really?
not.
Well, he dresses up usually as a scientist, and that's all fake too.
Oh,
So,
yeah, right. Very good, very good. But
yeah.
did you get around at all?
I didn't have to because people came to me, Billy. I'm like a son, and then people just gravitate. Dan DiDio came by,
Yeah.
and we chatted about the ups and downs of the Frank Miller verse, and it was good to see him. Like I know that some people in the crowd that we run with, maybe have a different opinion of Dan than I do, but I love Dan. He was great to me the whole time I was there. Always had my back. Always kept me in work, and so I was very happy to see him and chat about things. But he's finding that the direct market is still giving him trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was talking. Dan and Leilani, his wife, stopped by
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to him, and Niall, if you remember, we brought this up to him about crowdfunding when he first announced it, and he came on our show. He just didn't get it, or he
didn't get the concept at all.
Yeah, and we're like, why? I mean, you're talking Frank Miller's first, even it's a Kickstarter. You're talking $250,000.
Yep.
At least if you have, Alex Maleev and David Mack did a dual Kickstarter, like Clover Press did, like their Marvel art books, and those two combined did over 200.
Yeah, he was saying to me that he didn't feel that crowdfunding he felt it was a Band-Aid, and he wanted to think bigger in terms of fixing the overall distribution problem. And I was like, and they had investors lined up, but Frank didn't want investors. And
what
so
would
that
sorry to interrupt. What distribution problem? Like what distribution problem? Did he mention that?
Well, the direct, no, I mean, how the direct sales market sucks and is not a great model especially for smaller publishers, because you got to have numbers to make any money. And a lot of times, as we know, as small publishers, if we were doing this just first through the regular channels of comic shops and like Diamond or something, we'd be losing money.
Yeah, we'd be losing our homes.
Yeah, so it's not a great model, and I think he recognizes that. But we haven't come up with a alternative solution yet. So because I threw crowdfunding out at him, and he was like, "Yeah, I thought about it, but I just felt like it was, wasn't really going to solve the problem long term." So he's trying to figure out a long term solution. And I said, "Well, when you figure it out, let me know, because I want to hear it."
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, we'd like to know.
We'll get him crowdfunding. Yeah. We're gonna make that happen, Billy.
Yeah, I think we will. But I want to share my screen. If you think of solutions, and let me throw this over here. Boom. Throw this here. All right. So the fanboy factor. Thank you guys once again. One of the few people that actually do cover me. I did a little article, Aaron LaPresta.
Ooh. Look at you.
I did sent a press release out, and they cover me as always. Thank you so much. And I basically posted like the greatest Comic-Con ever, meaning, people generally call San Diego Comic-Con. They don't call it. I remember someone asked me if I was going to Comic-Con out here in Long Island. Like, oh, you going to Comic-Con? I'm like, yeah, we go every year. And I'm like, but it's not until, next summer. They're like, no, it's like 2 weeks from now. And I'm like, oh, you mean the New York Comic-Con? That's not Comic-Con. We all call it San Diego or that. But I had to address something, if you guys saw it out there, is that, if I can read it, says, comics take a center stage for the first time in over a decade as fans, pros celebrate massive convention created in their name. That's a quote from Jimmy Palmiotti. But and I wrote here that, by all accounts, last week's Comic-Con International San Diego, the mecca of fandom, which I like to call, I coined that phrase.
Trademark it, baby.
Thank you. Was a tremendous success, so much so that it has been heralded as the greatest San Diego Comic-Con of all time. And Jimmy quoted this. Jimmy was in the Hollywood Reporter. And this is my segue to that. He says that creators like Adam Hughes and Billy Tucci told me they had their best year ever. It was a real joy to see the people that created the comics once again become front and center to the con created in their name, said Harley Quinn writer and Painkiller Jane creator Jimmy Palmiotti. And then I go on to here say that San Diego's Comic-Con success astonished the motion picture industry as their presence was significantly diminished due to the Writers Guild of America and the Screen Actors Guild ongoing strike. So much so that a perplexed Hollywood reporter's Boris Kitt asked, "This was the year that San Diego Comic-Con was supposed to collapse. After all, with Hollywood studios pulling out and stars not able to promote their work, all due to the double whammy of the actors and writer strikes, why would people even bother to attend?"
But attend they did, Billy.
They did.
And they did. But you believe this shit? The
Well,
gravitas?
here's the thing, though, that we have to take into consideration. All those tickets were already sold before they pulled out. So next year, if they didn't, so we don't really know for sure. But what we do know is that for whatever reason, maybe all the people that were going to be in Hall H and didn't have Hall H to go to were on the floor and they were spending money.
Right.
So
They sure were.
And, you know, maybe even without Hollywood, maybe you don't get the same numbers next year. I'm not saying Hollywood won't be there next year. I have no idea. But if Hollywood were to pull out, it might affect the overall numbers, but that may not affect the bottom line for most exhibitors.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Because, you know, if you have 175,000 people there, you know, maybe 50,000 of them are there to spend money. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like the people that are there to spend money will probably still spend money. We may just have less people that are camping out outside to get in line for Hall H.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody had said, and then the article in his defense did say that people did come out and they were buying, you know, people running out of stock of product and things like that. But it seemed like they were real Hollywood, and not this particular writer. I think he was being a bit tongue in cheek and actually on the side of the comics industry. But that was a sentiment out there that they were shocked that people weren't asking for refunds.
Yeah.
Like no one did, or they canceled hotel rooms or anything like that, like they thought. And it felt so good to have comics front and center. I mean, if you saw Scott Campbell's booth, did you see his booth?
Oh my gosh, what it was
Oh,
like!
yeah.
It was like a temple of glorious comics. You know, it was just
Color and
amazing.
purple, yeah. And but he was at the Sideshow booth because Sideshow,
They didn't exhibit, did they?
Nope. And I'm wondering if it's because of the strike or what they decided to pull out or not exhibit this year. I don't know why they wouldn't exhibit this year.
Well, if Sandy was actually losing some people because they're I mean, not fans, but exhibitors, because they're starting to weigh the benefits of actually the cost, and because Sideshow doesn't sell anything when they go there. It's all promotion, right?
Yes.
And they can do that promotion online. They can do it. I mean, it's cool for us to go and look at all this stuff, but does it really result in more sales from them or whatever? So if some of these places were to pull out, all it would do is maybe shrink the con a little bit, but it would still be a great convention. It'd still be the greatest convention in the world. I mean, when it was back in the old building before it was in the convention center, they were only drawing 40 to 60,000 people a year. And it was still an incredible convention. You go to the dealer's floor and it was all just old comics, movie posters, some toys, but it was all an artist alley. I mean, it was just all about comics, and they were still drawing, you know, incredible numbers. So even if you lost Hollywood, I would still guess that you'd still be having fans show up over 100,000 strong.
Yeah, definitely, because it is the hottest ticket in town. All fans want to go to it.
Yeah.
But it's there was a question here, and they're asking me, but I'd like to ask you because you're our guest today. You know, how were your sales, Aaron, compared to other San Diego Comic Cons? And thank you, One Slick Dude.
Well, I don't want to drop any numbers because that would be
Crass?
Yeah, crass. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. But I will say this: by just preview night Wednesday night and then the end of day of the show on Thursday, which was the first day and a half, I'd already equaled my greatest show I'd ever had over 5 days, ever.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So yeah, I was stunned by how well I did at the show. I've never even come close to doing as well as I did. So I'm kind of excited for next year to see could this be trending up, or is this just like a one-off weird thing? But we'll find, you know.
Wow. And
But it was a good year. That's for sure.
great to hear. That's
that
great.
is
to-
so
and that's
great.
all I've been seeing on social media is everyone just talking about how amazing they did there. Like literally a bunch of creators saying this is like probably one of the best shows they've ever done.
Yeah, and it was interesting for me because I've been in sharing a corner booth, right? So we have 2 tables. Billy, now of course you have 3 tables. You have all 3 sides open. I have 2 right on the corner there of an island, and I was sharing that booth for, almost 20 years with Terry Dodson, and Terry's got his own booth now. So I was in there by myself for the first time because I haven't gone to San Diego since the year before COVID. And so I was back, but it was me in the booth only, right? So I wasn't dealing with any of the, hey, when's Terry going to get back? And where's Terry sitting? And are you Terry?
You for Terry?
Right, exactly. In fact, he told me it. Talked to him. We were walking home from dinner one night, and I ran into him, and he said that someone actually thought he was me. So I thought, yeah, revenge, baby. But so everybody that came to that booth was coming specifically to either look at my stuff or talk to me, and I wasn't having to kind of share that space and wonder, oh, is this person walking up here to talk to me, or are they here to talk to Terry or whoever? And so I felt a lot of pressure going into this. I was like, the booth cost twice as much because I wasn't splitting it anymore.
Right.
And I didn't know, but it like I said, it went really well. And it was really kind of nice to be the master of your domain, so to speak.
Master of your domain, just like being a bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that you've gotten so comfortable, but you are, and let me answer my question, is that we had the best San Diego Comic-Con since 1996.
Wow,
So
that's saying a lot.
That was huge for us. That's like the year we exploded onto the scene, or 95. 95 was better than 96, but it was in between 96 and 95. And it was wonderful. But the thing too, Aaron, I ran out of product. I ran out of Barbie books. They sold out. Then we set some aside because I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to sell. Let me bring 50, but nope, boom, gone. All these, I have a few, they all sold out. And then Dr. Blevins told me they were actually selling on Whatnot for the medals were selling for $300.
Oh yeah, they're up on eBay now. They started reselling them. I was seeing Facebook posts for I think a couple vendors bought them.
Yeah, they did. They're like, there's only like the metal editions, and some of them were 1 or 3 or 2 or 3, and we're like, yeah.
So you were moving product mostly.
Yes.
See, I was moving original art. The majority of my sales were original art, which just blew me away. Product sales were about the same as they always are for me, but you've got an established character too, and you've got an established company name and things that people recognize. So I'm wondering, maybe another year of Wraith of God, and then, my Kit Carter graphic novel and things like that, because I'm going to turn that booth not into just Aaron Lopresti booth, but to Empire Comics booth. Excellent. Featuring me, and see if and I'm going to have 4 books next year at San Diego instead of just the one that I had this year. So that'll be interesting to see.
Maybe a special one. Maybe you have like a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive.
That's what I was thinking, because I saw you do that, and I thought that's a good idea. So basically, what you did is you created a cover specifically just for San Diego. How many did you print up? What was your
99 and 25?
99? Just 99. So what did you sell them?
I think we have like 5 left on our website.
What did you sell them for?
They sold for $25 each, these. And then the medals were 135, 145.
What book is that? This
is my 30th anniversary. It's the Art of War. And it is my it's my little tour book, but it shows my artwork from when I was young, trying to break in, and before that. So it's like an art book.
Oh, it's an art book. It's not a she story.
There's Debbie in college. I drew her.
Yeah, some of the drawings you did in fabric school.
Yes, in fabric school. Submissions, submissions, and try to do like the early she stuff with I still had the Xerox. How I drew it. In a from the light box, and so
you created a specific book just for San Diego.
Yes,
I like it.
Yep. So this is the Art of War. It's our 30th anniversary of a book I did put out. I think me and Homage, who did the Gen 13, were the two first people we're both aware of that did the sketch cover book. That Gen 13 number 13 came out a month or two before mine came out, and neither of us knew each other was doing it because they didn't announce it. They just hit everybody with 13 variant covers for Gen 13 number 13. And then I did it for the Art of War, and you buy the book for $10, and I did a free sketch on the cover, and it was crazy.
You're a trendsetter, Billy.
Thank you. You should see me dance.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start a new dance with that. But
do you know the genius that is Battle Books?
No.
25 years too early. Ahead of its time. Battle Books. I did an interactive game that I had the license with Marvel, and it was from the old Ace of Aces game, which was a fighter pilot game, like World War I fighter pilots. But I had the Hulk versus thing. Hey, brother.
Hey, Ethan.
Where that?
You know where Ethan is?
Where'd you go?
We should ask him what he did.
He's working right now. You know he is. The only time he watches YouTube is when he's working. So we know he's grinding out some frog pages right now.
Yeah,
probably blood spewing. You know?
Yes. He was drawing Heather earlier today. I think it was today he was drawing Heather, or yesterday. This morning he was drawing. It was a gorgeous piece. But there was a lot of conversation. We had a lot of fun, Aaron, didn't we? A lot of CGers, a lot of people supporting us. I got to meet Eric July, hung out with him. And what you talk about, a humble guy. Did you meet Eric at all?
No, I didn't get over there. I heard he had quite the line, though.
Yep, he was over there with Gabe. He had a massive line, and he spent. And we were watching him. I think I told us that Eric July's over there. So I was like, "Yeah, Eric July's over there." Not for. So I'm like, "Oh, Deb, let's go say hi to him." And I saw him like, "Hey," and you know how like you and Fraga, that you kind of know these people in a way. I mean, Fraga's a bro and a king, so you know him a lot more than I know Eric. I just know him through Twitter and stuff. And I'm like, and Gabe's like, "Eric, I want to introduce you to Billy and Debbie Tucci," and he's like, "Hey," you know what I mean? And gave him a hug and all. And but you got the attention he spends to everyone on his line. So gracious, so humble, and it was cool, man. It was a really great. The whole convention had this amazing sense of positive energy.
Yes. That's the thing. I was talking to somebody, and it wasn't even, it was like Thursday. I mean, it'd just been a day into the con, and I had mentioned to somebody, I said, this con has a different vibe this year. There's just something about it. It just had this really sort of feel good sort of thing going on. And then a day later or 2 days later, someone came up to the booth, and I was talking to them, and there was another exhibitor, and they used the exact same words. They said, this year just has a different vibe to it. And I just kept thinking, we got to keep Hollywood out of this show.
Yeah. So that said, I mean, you had a fantastic year, a banner year, if you will.
Yes.
Greatest San Diego ever. Next year, you're going to have a lot more books. You're going to have a lot more art. You're going to do a special edition. So you're going to have 5. You're going to call the Fab 5.
Yeah.
Lopez collection.
What if I hired some booth babes? How about that?
Yes.
That would be next level, wouldn't it?
Debbie wanted to know where Shelley was. I think there's the booth babe right there.
People love Shelley. If I can get her to go, I got to tell you, I cracked up at dinner with you when just watching Debbie roll her eyes every time you told a story. Like, here comes the augmented version or the not quite true Billy story.
Well, you know, wives are like my wife, and yes, let's talk, Ethan, for sure, absolutely. He would destroy it, San Diego.
Oh my gosh!
You would make $70,000, I think, there. But
they could take us all out to dinner.
Yes.
Tomahawks for everyone.
Yep, tomahawks for everyone. But my wife, and I think all wives, and I'm sure your wife a bit like this, but you may be a little bit different, Aaron, than normal men. They're the exaggeration police. What do I mean, exaggeration police officer? Can I exaggerate a little bit? My flight was delayed for 3 hours.
And she's like, no, it was only 2.
No, it was 2, but it actually was 3 hours. I even got it in my phone, if I can find my phone. But what's up with the exaggeration police? Good thing was that and because you're new, so I'm sure she would have got a kick out of it. She removes her heels. I don't know if she wore heels that night. Probably not.
No, she didn't. She had
No.
flats on because she showed me because I said, when are you going to crack him in the head? And she brought the shoe up. And
Yes. What, at the place, at the restaurant?
yeah.
Did she?
Yes.
Because I'm like, ah.
Yeah, I know. She had the shoe up. She was ready to lop you one.
You see that? And I wasn't even aware of it.
Yeah.
But let's see if we can somehow get the darling Shelley there. I know that Sergio Aragones would love to see her. And all the other greats.
Mike Plug, Bill Stout, they'd all come running.
But
I did talk to Bill Stout for quite a bit. He's got he's doing some books through Flesk, Pop John Flesks. Do you know Flesks?
I don't. I know of them.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah, he's doing some books through Flesk, and he was saying there's a 3-volume set coming out of all of his comic book work. And I said, Bill, you got to be kidding me. You don't have 3 volumes worth of comic book work. And he said, yeah, I do. And he goes, and it's not even my underground stuff. That's a separate thing. So I was like dying going, man, I can't wait for that. Because,
well, what did he do? Marvel stuff and DC stuff too?
I don't know. We started talking about different things. And I didn't ever get back around to saying, well, because I know he did some indie stuff like in the 80s, right? And maybe he just did enough of that stuff here and there that, like for Pacific or First or whoever, that we just don't know about, right? Like he did some stuff for A1. Remember that title? I don't remember who published it though. But the book was called A1 and it had a bunch of short stories in it. And
I remember Mr. A with Ditko's Mr. A.
No, hang on a second. Let me go over to the old
Aaron, you have no pants on.
Oh, sorry. I forgot.
What's that stain there? What is he got?
Now let's go to the old spinner rack here. And
Wait a minute. What is that?
Bring up the spinner rack.
Look at that. Oh, you can't. Oh, hang on a second.
Is that a comic book spinner rack or is that?
Look at that Empire Comics spinner. Look at that, baby.
You son of a bitch, you.
Yeah, Shelly got this for me for Christmas. Look at this. Got old Fantastic Fours in there.
Look at you.
Wow.
All sorts of stuff. Got some Comicsgate stuff in here.
Fantastic Four is a Marvel book, right?
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
No.
You're not that dumb, are you? Seriously?
I know the fan.
Look at that. Look at that. Now that.
Ooh.
This is a Thor annual that Simonson did the cover for, but Buscema did the work on the inside. Look at that, some of that groovy stuff in there by old John.
Mephisto, right?
Yeah. But anyway, here's the book I was talking about. Now that's a Bill Stout cover right there for A1.
Oh, wow.
So I think he did
Atomic
enough
Press.
of just like stuff like this that, according to him, he says he can fill 3 volumes. So I'm kind of dying to see it.
Wow. Yeah, because it's got to be unless it's just his art, because he can't reprint the stories unless they license it. Maybe they could.
Well, but see if it's all for it. I don't think he ever did anything for Marvel or DC. I think it was all sort of stuff like that, and he probably maintained the copyright on all of it.
Yeah, good for him then. Good.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
I somebody reached out to me. I'm not going to say
Jetto's got it.
Not going to say his name, but well, now that you had a banner year, as I was saying, but you're a little bit anxious about next year. You don't want to get too excited because again, circumstances, right? But
you never know. You never know.
You never know. But would you consider sharing the booth with anyone, or you're done with that? You're all Ron.
Well, here's the thing. I was thinking about it at a point, but after this past year, now granted, because I did really well, so it's like, why? But the more important thing was after 20 years of splitting a booth and tripping over people, and the thing, it gets really bad. When Terry and I were just in the booth, it was okay. But then people would stop by, right? And pretty soon you got 5 or 6 people standing in your booth and you're trying to get, and it was just a nightmare. So as a cost saving measure, I was always looking, to, I always thought, well, it's uncomfortable in terms of, having space, but at least there's always somebody there to watch your stuff if you have to leave for a few minutes or, and it's cheaper, but I'm just like, you know what? I'm a big time publisher now. I need my own booth.
See,
can't share it anymore. So, Now, if it sucks next year, then following year I'll be begging for someone to share it with me.
Yeah. Well, we were thinking of doing the same thing actually, and we got a lot of offers from people.
Yeah, same here.
And but again, Debbie's like, absolutely not, because we were very similar to you. That I think we turned a profit Thursday, by Thursday, and it's usually Saturday we do. But
you also got to look at your table. You know, your table is full of your stuff.
Yeah.
So you give up part of that. Now you don't have as much room to display all the stuff you have, you know?
Right.
It's one thing if you're just bringing some original art and you're just kind of laying it out there, but if you've got product, I had one table that had all my portfolios and prints laid out on it, another table that had all, you know, my products from, you know, sticker sets to t-shirts to hats to sketchbooks, you know, those were all filled up another table. So I sat there and I thought, this is really convenient to have both these tables that I can spread out on, and I'm not like stacking stuff up, you know, but it's more comfortable to kind of lay out so everybody can see everything. So yeah, I mean, I had people wanted half the booth, and I was thinking about it. If I'd had a bad show, I would have definitely done it, but I didn't. So I'm going to ride it out for at least another year and see how it goes. Yeah, because I really can use the space. And I really do enjoy having that extra space in there, because then when Fraga stopped by, here's the problem, Ethan, with getting the booths is that there's a waiting list for them. Now, with Hollywood, if they come back or don't come back, that may change things. But you got to get your name. You got to contact Justin Dutta at DUTTA at the San Diego Comic-Con and just say, dude, I want a booth, put me on the list.
Yeah, I'll have Debbie send you the link.
Yes, something might break, or you might have to wait a while, but you might also be able to, I don't know if you want to go into Artist Alley, you're too big for Artist Alley, I think. But
yeah. Well, Debbie Debbie today was online, and she came downstairs, not exasperated, but mildly upset. Not upset, but maybe just unpleasantly surprised. How's that? That we couldn't pay for the booth for next year, because normally what we do is we literally pay for the booth for the following year while we're there. Got the money, right?
Right. Yep.
Invest in it for next year, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. You're not allowed to do that now. Now you have to fill out an application.
That's not true. I did.
You paid for your booth there?
Yeah.
Huh.
Hang on a second.
Here's the thing. What they did was, instead of handing you the paperwork that you fill out and go to the booth and then, out in the lobby and pay for it, they sent you an email. The problem is we're at the show and the email's at home, right? And they didn't necessarily tell you they were sending you an email. Well, so I went up to pay for the booth. They go, no, you have to go online. We sent you an email. There's a link. It'll take you to the form, and you got to fill out the form online. And once the form is filled out and you've submitted it, then you come back over here to the booth. They'll look it up, and you can then pay for it. So I called Shelly and said, did we get an email? She said, no. And I'm like, Judas Priest. So I went back to the booth, and I got to admit, they were very helpful. They had some young girls that actually knew how to use computers. And they basically logged me onto their laptop and then set me up so I could fill out the form right there. And so I did it Sunday afternoon, about 2 hours before the show closed, filled out the form, and then paid. So now you didn't get your ultimate discount, Billy. Now you're only going to get.
I asked Deb to come up. I think she's coming upstairs.
Uh-oh, you're going to get me in trouble.
I might pop off camera to call her, because I don't want to lose this spot. You know what I mean? I've had it for.
Well, you're not going to lose the spot, but you have until. There's like that discount you get when you pay for it at the show. Right. And all you have to do is pay 50% down, and they'll give you the big discount, and then you have to pay it off by November or something. If you don't do that, you have until December to pay, and you'll still have your booth.
Aaron paid for his booth. Did you pay for our booth yet?
No.
Aaron was able to do it at the show.
Oh, that's nice. So they let you do it. They didn't let me.
But we missed a discount now.
No, we didn't miss the discount.
Aaron said we missed a discount.
I'm not getting in a fight with your wife. I'm afraid.
She's got shoes, man.
We have
I know.
August 10th for the discount.
Okay, what did you do today? You were on that today.
Oh, you do
right?
have August. Okay, that's right. I think is August 10th. You're right.
What
How come they wouldn't let you? How come they wouldn't let you sign up? What'd they tell you?
I walked up and said, you know, what's the, can I, because it was early, it wasn't
Right.
at the end of the show. And I said, while I'm here, because I happen to be down there running some errand, said, can I renew for next year? And they said, oh, it's all online. There's nothing today. Excuse me while I kill my dog.
Oh, no, kill him.
Well, I was gonna wait.
Kill him.
come
Just
back.
push him down the
Just
stairs.
tell me, the dog's right. She just let her in. She doesn't like to be alone. She's a shepherd.
Oh, it's also cool.
All right. Here's what happened.
Everywhere
Yeah.
else.
Here's what happened, Debbie. They sent the emails out Sunday
Right.
with the link to fill out, and then you had to fill out the form online. And then once you filled it out and submitted it online, then you go over to the booth, the exhibitor payment booth, and then you can pay.
Well, they said I can pay online too, so I'm sure there's a way to do that. Or I may have to call them and leave a number. Who the hell knows?
Right, but I think you're right. I think they honor the.
Till the 10th, and I saw that on the.
Yeah, I think you're right. They honor the discount if you pay by August 10th. I believe that. I remember that being a thing.
In years prior, they would honor the discount until the 31st of August. But now that it's online, they're shrinking our window.
They're making it more difficult for us.
What a surprise.
No, we even brought a check with us because normally we just give them a check.
Yeah, but I told you they stopped accepting checks in 2019 or 2018. It had to be cash or credit card.
Well, this is interesting because back in the day, they wouldn't have taken a credit card because they didn't want to pay the fees for the credit card. But now I guess they figure the booths are so stinking expensive, they can afford to, lose a little bit.
With the checks, there were people that wrote the check just to save the spot, and then when the check bounced, because you would write the check, but they didn't cash the check until December.
Oh, that's
Right. That's right.
That's right.
So that happened to us once.
Yep.
So I think that's why they stopped taking checks,
Mm,
because it was a bookkeeping nightmare.
makes sense to me.
No, Aaron had the best show, his best San Diego ever as well.
I did.
Fantastic.
And the best dinner I've ever had
Oh, with whom?
with you guys.
Oh, thank you, Aaron. You're too kind. Too kind.
Booths are what about a regular booth with just a 10-foot booth with a single table is about $3,000, somewhere in that neighborhood. I have a corner booth, so I have to pay more. It's like $1,000 more for that corner booth.
So
Yeah.
And I got the discount, or I'd be paying over $4,000 for it. But mine was $39.50 with that
Right.
initial discount
That's
because
right.
they raise the price every year, right? So just to keep it the same as it was the year before, you got to get that early discount, or it's going to go up.
They're not smart. They're not stupid. They know what.
No.
Yeah.
And then I had to pay for a couple extra tables, right?
Wait,
Because
what?
they only give you one table for your 10-foot booth,
Oh,
whether you
man.
got a corner or not. And so I had to pay for my extra 8-foot table. Then I got another 6-foot table to put my banners on, so they're up higher. And
How
that's
much
another $400.
Yes, let me buy a mega booth. Yes, you can.
Yeah, you should.
You should. Well, Ethan wants to set up, so if you can put him in touch with or get him the application or something. Yeah, well, man, we'd love to have you there. We'd have a hoot and a half. I'll tell you that.
All right.
Boot and a half.
But that's very it's very reasonable, the boots for a corner, especially a show with that magnitude.
The corner.
Well, yeah, I suppose.
The corner is $1,000. So if you're willing to spend an extra $1,000, and if
Right.
for some people it's, if you're in the right spot and have a corner, it's great. But I've seen some people with corners. Look at the year we had a corner and we were all
Ugh.
excited and we were right in front of a pole.
Yeah, they had
So-
two giant
a
pillars in
big
front,
pillar.
two of them,
So
wasn't
the
it?
corner did us no good whatsoever.
We had
And-
two. We had a double with two end caps, I think.
Yeah, so I'm glad
Yeah.
And there was two of the giant pillars were in front of
one
us.
end cap.
I got a primo spot. That's why I don't want to give it up, no matter how much they charge me. I got a great traffic spot, and but I think what Ethan's asking about. I think the bigger booth you buy, the more likely you are to get one, because I think the single 10-footers are really difficult. 10-foot square booths, which we have, right? And those are hard. Those are the waiting lists. Those are harder to get. But you start getting end caps, or I'm going to buy 4 booths. I think those are the ones that turn over every year.
And
Yes.
look at what happened this year when they had mass cancellations. So
Yeah, exactly.
so there were
So
a ton of large booths.
that's right.
The thing is that there were so many people there, and now I know I'm not a comics aficionado, but
We all know that.
there were so many booths there of even in small press and people I've never heard of.
Mhm.
Even even the booths, there's a lot of booths, people just selling T-shirts and you kind of like, how are these people making money?
Don't forget, we were there once too. We were the new kids on the block at one time. So it's now our turn. We're becoming the old guard, whether you like it
With
or
the
not.
old crabby, the old crab.
You know,
Well, I think that's where you get your turnover, right? Is when people go there, they finally get in, and then they lose money, and they're like, "I'm not coming back here again." And then they're out, and then someone fills that spot, because you saw that a lot down at the end where I'm at, where the artists are. We used to have a lot of like model makers, garage kit people, you know, back in the day. Those great. They're there for a year and they're gone. You know, the one booth was there a couple years ago, or pre-COVID, and they had nothing but like European theater masks. You know, with the I mean, they're really cool. I bought a couple of masks to hang on the wall here, and then they were. I thought they were doing well, but they didn't show up the next year. So that's where you get sort of that turnover.
You can be busy, but when you think about, especially if they traveled, you know, if they live close by,
True.
that's one thing. When you add on a hotel and airfare, it's a tough nut to crack. So, you know, we always said, as long as we break even, it's worth it, because it's a huge networking opportunity first and foremost. But
yes, and that's another thing. The people you meet, it's
yeah.
unbelievable.
So as long as we're breaking even,
Right.
And it's extra nice when we make money, but you certainly don't want to lose money on it.
Right.
You're looking for a tax write-off, which I'm sure a lot of these big companies are. So,
Actually, right. Yeah, they're not there to make money. The bigger companies aren't. It's us little guys that sort of like, God, we got to at least.
We got it, you know.
Right. So, you know, to have a year like we had this year was huge.
Yep.
Huge.
But even like Scott Campbell had, like I said, a mega booth. His booth had to cost $40,000.
That was incredible.
Beautiful.
And
Oh,
but
my
he
goodness.
had his specials. He had, you know, he makes money every time.
I
So he
know.
had exclusives. I think he had like, it was limited to like 2,000 or something. I'm like, oh man, I'm limiting mine to
I
100.
love that Cheshire cat.
Yeah,
I keep thinking I need to. I don't know. I just don't know where I'd put it, but I absolutely love that piece.
I was blown away when I walked by his booth, because he's usually was back there by me.
Yeah.
I'm on the end cap with Adam Hughes, then Arthur Adams is behind me, and then there's someone over, and he was on that other side of Arthur Adams there, and he was like out in the middle, like in this Taj Mahal of booths, you know.
Yeah.
He had the big J. Scott Campbell hanging line, you know, between two pillars, and you're just like, whoa.
But it's also what I've learned, though, is that it's not necessarily the size of the booth. I'm sure it helps if you can afford
It's how
it.
you use it, right?
It's how you use it, but also what you have. Yeah, but it's where you have it. Like, you know, again, you were saying how you know, it was good to be by yourself because you weren't tripping over things and stuff like that. And we had a comics pro who's a friend of ours. He's crazy, but he asked him if he could charge his phone on the first day.
Why are we talking about?
Because then he put a suitcase in the thing on Sunday.
Yeah, that's exactly. Can I store this here? Can
Everyone
I store
comes in. Mind if I just throw this here? Mind if and they're shoving shit under my table and stuff's getting pushed out and stuff like that. And I love this guy.
Well, what you got to do, Billy, is put him to work. That's what I did. Anybody that wanted to store something in my booth, I said, yeah, you come in here, sit in here, work for an hour so I can go to the bathroom and get something to eat. Yeah, you can store your stuff.
Yeah, he's in and out like a ninja. He's like a
not
ninja.
only that, but we have help. So
Yeah.
we have amazing help that we can leave the booth if we need to, and you know, we're covered.
Go to meetings and stuff like that. I want to show you something, guys. And speaking of the contacts and what's cool about San Diego is the people that you meet and all. While we were at San Diego, we got this email.
If you want me to stay up here, you have to stop doing that with my leg. Because
What am I doing with my
you're
leg?
making me seasick.
That's Andy Smith does that with his leg, not
No,
me.
you do it too.
No, I don't.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. But check this out. Stop. We got our She toys
Oh,
are being produced.
look
this
at
is
that.
very nice.
And all the accessories and stuff. And he said it's going to be a month and a half, and the figures will all be ready.
Good. We'll have them for New York Comic Con.
Yep, we'll have them for New York Comic Con, and we will.
Amazing.
Yep,
Oh,
we will
really?
be. Debbie and I will be at New York Comic Con on Friday and Saturday at the first booth in Artist Alley alongside Rob Liefeld and Marat Michaels at the Hot Flips booth. But we'll only be there on Friday and Saturday. But it would be great if we can have those action figures by then. That'd be badass.
That'd be amazing.
But thank you, Ethan. From you, that's a compliment.
Thank you,
They look really great. The paints are gorgeous, and you know how when you first see it, because I'm like, is that the same face? Is that the same head? But apparently it all is. And but that's all.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do something special with our signed editions. I'm kind of toying with a couple different ideas. So as soon as I nail that down, we'll make that announcement as well.
Well, I admire you guys. You guys learned a lot at fabric school, and you're like putting it out there and really expanding your business. I think that's great.
But you know what would be crazy though, and all is that if Ethan goes,
I'm
or
serious.
Andy Smith goes, if I don't know if Graham will go. Graham doesn't like paying for a booth or anything like that. We could take over that show. Like, it would be huge. It'd be fantastic. Yeah. San Diego. If Ethan comes and if Andy's thinking about coming, all these guys want to try to get booths now.
To take anything over before.
I don't take it over. Just be fun. It'd be a lot of fun. We can convince Shelly to come, and you can go out with Shelly.
Have a strong presence, is what you're saying, Shelly.
Yes.
Well, we're very lucky that we've had a strong presence there for a very long time.
Yes, we are.
I'm very grateful for that. We waited online for that booth that we have, and now we're front and center, and we're very blessed.
Yep, it's one of the best booth locations, second to Aaron's, of course.
Right, mine's the best, but
Aaron's is the best. So maybe
second best.
Maybe Ethan can get Aaron's booth.
Can you please stop shaking the chair?
Yeah.
All right.
That's right. He's gonna Ethan can squeeze me out.
you help him out, and he takes
I'll be the guy dropping my bag under the table.
Citizen Ronan, I like your comment. That's hilarious. You went to fabric school.
Well, you're not supposed to read that unless they pay for it.
No.
I couldn't remember what it was called, and it just came out fabric
school. Well, you
for me, it fits. I was in textiles.
That's true.
You were. Oh, it works.
Yeah.
Okay, that's William calling. You want to grab that? Hang on.
It's coming in so nice and clear.
I know. I feel like we're right there with you. Huh?
So was there anyone that surprised you that you weren't expecting to see there, Aaron?
I was surprised. What I was surprised about is everybody was really nice to me. I wasn't sure what to expect from the other pros, but everybody that talked to me was really cool. So I was just like, maybe this whole sort of overblown stuff and with Comicsgate and everything is kind of, it's not gone, but it's like I'm hopeful that maybe some of the people are starting to realize how ridiculous all this crap is that's been thrown at us that is just completely untrue and it's unfounded. And, I think people are starting to judge people based on who they are personally, not what this misconception they have of some organization that they belong to. It's just, I mean, I may be completely wrong about that, but everybody was really cool to me. So that was surprising. I didn't know what to expect. So that was the big surprise.
Oh, I'm sorry that I missed that. That we're talking to my son. It's his birthday in 2 hours. His 21st birthday.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah,
birthday.
You guys having a party?
Yeah. On Saturday.
Oh, not tonight though.
No. Tomorrow I'm going to send him to go buy us some liquor though. Like his $100. Go buy us our booze. Oh yeah, Ethan.
Oh, Ethan's going to be walking. Are you going to be walking around? You're not set up. You're just walking around, huh? Causing trouble. That'll be good.
York's probably all sold out at Artist Alley and everything, but that's going to be a ball because he was walking around. I don't know, 2018, like a boss. He had his entourage.
I can't do this.
All right, fine. All right, talk to you later then.
See you, Deb. Well, down at I'm sure you're aware of this, that at San Diego now they are charging $300 for Artist Alley, 4-foot Artist Alley space. Remember, that used to be free. That used to be the thing, get it. I mean, everybody wanted one and you couldn't always get one, but it was like they would There you go. You'll be a YouTuber. Yeah, you can just go in and like record stuff live and post your. Yeah, exactly.
He'll be in his cosplay,
Yeah, where's
Oh,
Ethan?
yeah.
Do
costume
it,
each
where's
day.
Waldo? Do it, where's
Ethan in
Waldo? Do it,
cosplay.
where's Ethan? And if
I
people
like it. Yeah.
people find you and come up to you, give them like a sticker or something.
I think you should dress as Conan and just come in storming through.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's crazy though. So now they're and Aaron, I think it's a 3-foot space. I think they were only 6-foot tables, right? Or are they 8s?
I don't know if they're 8 or not. I haven't been down there in so long.
Yeah.
But it's funny. If you go back to when I first got a booth, which was in it was either 2000 or 2001, and I've been in Artist Alley like all of us were for years, and it was 2 guys, Bill Stout and Dan Brereton. We're all, and it's ironic that Brereton's not boothing anymore and hasn't been for quite some time, but he had a booth and Stout had a booth, and they were always coming up to me and going, dude, you got to get a booth. You have to get a booth. And I was like, oh, I don't want to spend the money. And, but Stout he was a little bit better because Stout's like a pretty savvy business guy. And he kind of like you, I don't know if he went to fabric school or not, but he's a pretty savvy business guy. And he would always say to me this very simple sentence. He's like, you got to get a booth, but you have to have stuff to sell. And so I finally said, you know what, I'm going to go for it because I realized that for me to get where I wanted to be in the industry, and I'm still trying to get there, but I had to like act like I was bigger than I was. Right. Yeah. So I figured if I have a booth, I'm going to seem like, hey, Lopresti's got a booth. Oh, he must be, whatever. And so that was kind of my plan. And so I got the booth and I did 3 times better than I ever did in Artist Alley with the booth. Now, of course, I had more cash outlay to get the booth. Mm-hmm. And that's when people started coming up to me, friends from Artist Alley, and they were like, hey, you want to split that booth next year? And so that's, and then Terry, I knew was more popular than me and was on bigger books than me. And I thought, I want to hang around people that are more prominent than I am, not people that are less prominent. And so I said, yeah, Terry, you're in. And so then we ended up, like I said, sharing a booth for about 20 years. Eventually worked our way up to getting that corner booth, which now I have all by my lonesome. But
yeah, and
it does make a difference.
Yeah, do you have a photo of that booth you can share? Because your booth looked really neat, really professional.
Well, it's right behind me and Anna right here.
What is? Oh, when you shared with you and Anna. Okay.
Here it is. I will show it again for your viewing pleasure at home.
Look at that. Look how clean that is.
Okay. So I didn't have if you can see over to the, behind Anna there on her, which would be her left-hand side, there's a stack of black books right there. That's my portfolios with my art in them. And I laid all those out. So they covered that one table. And then I had my prints up there behind that. On the corner right there that she's standing in front of, I had the Wraith of God books spread out with a flyer that had the QRC code for the new campaign. Yeah. It's like, what are you talking about? What's behind her? I don't know what you're talking about. And then behind me, that whole table, I had the 3 different t-shirts that I had for sale were laid out. I had packages of the entire stickers and card sets laid out, the hats. You can see the hats there. And then in the corner, I had the Wraith of God Roughs Volume 1, the copies I had left from the campaign. And it was really clean. It was very controlled. It wasn't messy. Things weren't flying all over the place. And so it was nice. And I think in that gray area behind me where my name tag is back up there on the curtain, I'm in an Empire Comics banner and hang that back there. And then I can have the banners, which create kind of that wall of separation from the people behind me.
Yes, the bourgeoisie. You don't want to be associated with those people.
And get an Empire Comics banner up there. So I have banners with my name on it, but then also the Empire Comics banner. And then have a lot more books next year. Because like I said, I'll have Wraith of God 1 and 2. And then I'll have the Kit Carter graphic novel, which I'll be launching probably in September. And that'll be done. And so I'll have all those by and then our Graybeard Studio show that I do with Kelsey and David Williams and Gary Martin, we're going to do a sketchbook. We're going to do one at the end of every year, take the best pieces we did on the show and make a sketchbook out of it. So I'll have those as well.
And then you'll have a San Diego Comic-Con special edition.
And it's exclusive.
Oh, good question. Were you selling mostly prints or books, Aaron?
Prints probably sold more, but what I really sold was original art. That's why it's so difficult for me to kind of gauge how next year is going to be, because one year you may sell thousands of dollars worth of art, and the next year you may not sell that much, right? So my product sales were about the same as they always were, but I don't have, like I was saying earlier in the show, is that Billy, you have a brand, Ethan, you have a brand. So you're going to be selling, hundreds of books where I might just sell 40. You know what I mean? But next year, hopefully that continues to increase. And then, because the problem is with the books is you got to ship them down there, and you just pray to God you sell all of them so you don't have to ship them back.
Right.
And
it's so expensive in my friggin' hotel.
Do they charge you extra for handling?
You're at the Marriott across the street. I'm at the Marriott next door, which is an amazing hotel. But they smartened up, so they have the FedEx office there, and all the books have to go in through FedEx. And we didn't do anything this year at all, but last year they charged us $3.50 per pound for a handling fee. So you imagine
you 20 pound box of books, and $60,
And we didn't realize that, so we actually sent it directly to the hotel because they didn't charge us.
Right.
We get this bill for $1,000 or something because we ship their displays, the prints, books,
right.
The display shit, the stuff that it goes on, racks, things like that. Get killed.
Yeah, well, and I lucked out because I expected there to be a fee, because most hotels do charge a handling fee of some kind. And the Marriott gas lamp, at least this year, we'll see if it holds true next year. But they were like, no, we don't have a handling fee unless you're shipping out. If it's just shipping in, it's free of charge. It's part of the courtesy of the hotel. And I'm like, wow, thank you. And I only had 3 boxes shipped there, but man, if you had like 10 or something. But see, I keep thinking about driving down too, because I could just load my truck up. But it's like, do I want to drive 21 hours to San Diego? Then at the end of the show, drive back? I don't know. I dropped my penny here.
It's nuts. Now, so Aaron, I saw you on the floor, and I saw you that night that you got drunk when we went to dinner.
Yeah, I was going to say, was I passed out on the floor when you saw me on the floor?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were pretty rough Saturday morning. But what else? What'd you do at night? What'd you do in the evenings?
Well, let's see. Wednesday night. No, this is kind of fun. Wednesday night, Tuesday night when I got in late. Tuesday night, I had a friend of mine who is on the board of directors for the con. Picked up my name tags for me, so I didn't have to wait in line Wednesday morning. And so I went over to pick him up, and they put him in the presidential suite at the Marriott, dude. So he took me up there, and it was 2 levels.
Your Marriott or my Marriott?
Your Marriott. 2 levels on the very top floor. And it was unbelievable. I thought, how much is this? Like $3,000, $4,000 a night if you rent this? And but he had this nice platter of like it was like this vagrant. I walked in there and he had this platter, and it had like all these really kind of expensive cheeses and like salami and stuff on it.
Charcuterie board.
Oh
yeah.
But
it was like in a silver tray though. It wasn't like a board. It was a silver tray. And I said, anybody eating that? And he's like, it's like Hooper from Jaws. Is anybody eating that? And so I chowed down on his expensive cheeses and meats tray.
So if I would have known you were coming in, I would have texted you.
I told you I was coming in, you dummy. You never listen. You don't read your texts.
Well,
you question.
I don't read my. You should call Bill Tucci and say, "Hey, Bill Tucci." Not that I'm inviting myself, but I guess I will. I would have liked to get some of that.
Some of that cheese.
I mean, yes.
You're in Ciao Presti.
Yeah, that's right. Well, hey, man, I used to show up anywhere there was food. It's like someone having a wedding. It's like, are they having food there? Yep, I'm in. I don't even have to know who the person is.
Did you go to the DC party they had Friday night or Friday? Was it
Yeah, like they invited me.
No, but everybody went. I saw Jimmy's like, you can go, and I'm like, nah. It was Saturday night. They had it at Roy's, right? They had and everybody like Stuart Schreck went, who was fired by them. And they said it was a big thing. So Jimmy's like, you should go. I'm like, I'm not going to go. But
no, I went Wednesday night. I went, what did I do Wednesday night? I went out with some of the con workers and this guy again. We went out to dinner. And then Thursday night, I went out with my kids, my son and his daughter, his daughter, my son and his wife, my daughter-in-law. And we went out to dinner and had a nice dinner on Thursday night. Then Friday night, I was out with the Tucci'S and the JC Vonnies and the other two gentlemen. What were they? Steve and Mike.
Harrowses.
Yeah. And Dave Stevens' sister. And then on Saturday night, I had the Ultraverse dinner with the old guys from the Ultraverse, Dave Aldrich and Dave. Tom Mason and gangs.
Mr. DeWoe.
And we had a great time. Chris Olm. And then Sunday was home. So there you go.
Nice.
I got to bed as early as I could because what my son likes to do is I always give him a badge from a booth, right? So an exhibitor badge. So we like to go in early and then look around when there's no traffic, right? And so you can see what's there. And so it was every morning, let's go in early. And I'm like, no. So I was going to bed late, getting up early the whole time.
I was doing the same thing. It's so funny because I had like Dennis Barger, a buddy of ours, huge supporter of all of us, and he's texting me like, I'm like, all right, we'll be hanging out the Marriott by 10:30. Cigars, man. Just like the night we went out to dinner, right? After dinner's over, it's like I want to go to bed.
I know.
Long freaking days,
20 years ago, it was a totally different thing, right? It's like, where's the party at? Now it's just like, where's my bed at? How soon can I get back to the hotel and crash?
And Debbie's like, I'm like, I gotta go out. I told them I'm gonna meet them, and she's like, just go to bed. I'm like, honey, I got it. She's like, most of these people, this is their vacation.
Yeah.
So they don't have to be up and at the booth at 8:30 in the morning.
Right. Exactly.
They're doing 10 commissions, over the weekend or so, or dragging books and getting stuff and going nuts and having meetings. They're there to chill out, so they'll come in and and yeah.
Dude, this is the amazing thing. I only did one commission the whole weekend.
Wow.
And I still did as well as I did. It was just pages, man. It was just I was selling pages. I was selling covers. It was just nuts.
Did you sell any of your Graybeard sketches?
Yeah, I did actually.
Good.
I sold one today. We just did we did Gil Kane on Wednesday and I sold it on Thursday.
Wow, look at you. Look at Aaron LaPresse.
I know. He knows how to do it, man. You can learn something.
It's all luck. If I had gone to fabric school, I'd be a totally different look.
Thank you. Aaron, check out Scholar. Does he look like he could fight now? Wait, trim his hair like that? Does he look like he could kick ass?
I don't know. He looks a little meaner. But he still has a kindly face, though.
I do.
He's got a baby face. He got a baby face with Aaron. I shaved today. I couldn't take it.
You were supposed to grow it out.
I know. I couldn't take it. Maybe in the fall. I'll grow it in the fall. So I can wear like a plaid shirt, with like a thermal shirt underneath it. Have a beard. I can grow a beard. It got itchy and it got weird and just like scratchy. And I'm like, how do people do this? I felt poor.
You did. I like Citizen Roman. He looks like he could do my taxes.
All right,
it's
Aaron.
It's a good look to have. It's a good look to have.
It is, yeah.
Yep. So, Aaron, now that the con was great, we're hoping, like Ethan says, he wants to come. I think that would be a coup if we can get him to get in there next year.
Yeah.
Adam Lawson, I see is here. Adam unfortunately couldn't make it this year. We missed him. And we're gonna set up next year for us is she's 30th anniversary.
Wow, that'll be a big one for you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna do my whole booth. We're gonna do a whole bunch of stuff, and Also had some cool stuff. I don't know if you saw my Comics for Ukraine, this massive book, my little Rocketeer story in it.
Oh,
And we had a panel, which was great. And me and Stan Sakai were the only ones with it in the whole convention center.
really?
Yep. And they
Did you actually have extra copies or just the one?
No, I had extra. Scott Dunbar dropped off 30 of them to us.
Dude, look it. I'm bitter that I was not included in that book. That's all
I
I'm saying.
asked him to be included.
Oh, you did you?
I called him and asked.
Oh,
I said,
okay.
can I be a part of this? So, but we had a few,
aggressive.
yeah. So we sold about 30 of them, or maybe more. I don't know. And then we put another order in for 40 more. So I'm actually going to put these on because we'd like to raise some money for them. So I'm gonna do a little sketch in here, like a little Rocketeer helmet.
Oh, that's
and we'll sell them as packages, with to see if we can raise some money, because it's nothing political at all. It's just for the refugees of the war, these people that have been displaced and stuff like that.
Right.
I think it's pretty. It's a great cause, and great people are involved in it. And
yeah, see, that's my problems. I don't do any charity work. I like. My favorite charity is me, and no, of course, I'm joking. Of course.
That's how it should be.
The best charity is Empire Comics.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. We're a nonprofit, and that's true.
Jeff Vaughn says, "What if we did a special cover for the 30th anniversary?" Oh wait, never mind. It's almost done. I can't. I'm not going to give that away. But
are you still working on that? You're late.
I screwed up the background. I did one of them. Now I have to do the other one.
I'm finished.
I'll
finished. Mine's finished. In fact, it was printed on the back of this year's big book, I believe it was, price guide, saying, "Look what you can get next year." So that's because I was on time.
Yes. Now yours is the cover to the big book.
That's what JC's
You'll
telling me.
have those there too.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe I will, because I don't get that many. It's not like they send you like 4 or 5. I mean, those are freaking huge books.
You could talk to Jeff, though, maybe buy some.
We're in the little book. See that, Billy?
Yeah,
Pop XP. We're in the little book.
Well, that's thank you, Obeen. I got my price guides. It's not little. Show how thick it is.
It is a thick book.
Look at that.
Yeah, it is. Those are heavy, man. See, that's the thing. You start bringing in hardcovers, man. That's when you really got to think about driving.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we brought in. Yeah, we're gonna next year. We'll have 2 omnibuses.
Oh, geez.
3 hardcovers. In case we sell these more, we order more of these. Well, hopefully the war will be over. Who knows?
No.
And a 30th anniversary book. I'd like to do a 30th anniversary She-Way the Warrior #1 artist edition, because I have all the the original black and white art, and then all the color art without the word balloons on it and stuff like that. So
I want to do a 30th anniversary Aaron book. Like, I've been there 30 years.
When's your 30th year?
I think it's already passed, actually, because my first year was 87. So how many years has that been?
30th anniversry. You can make it.
Got to be getting close.
You can still call your 30th anniversary.
Yeah, no one needs to know.
No one's gonna know.
Yeah, that's right. I can just make it up, right? No one needs. Yeah, that's exactly right. But I can actually pull out the program guide from 1987.
Yeah, you could have fun. You could do cool stuff. You could throw that drawing you did of Shelley with crayons in it, like a bunch of rare stuff, things that no one ever saw, submissions, early college paintings or whatever. Art.
Oh, I got some nudies down in the garage.
I got a couple of nudies.
They're of himself, though. He uses himself
I was the model, and I had a mirror there, so I was like painting myself.
They're all like double page spreads too, so you get to pull them open.
Yeah, I got a couple of nudies in a trunk in the garage, actually. Wait,
I only had one. Let me think. Let me rephrase this. No, it's right. When I was in school, anyway, I had one good-looking model. And she was the only one I painted from the front. All the other ones I'd go around to the back, so I didn't have to, view the horror,
the junk.
But yeah, she was kind of cute. I don't know why I didn't get her number. I was talking to her quite a bit. It's like, put your robe on and come over here and take a look at what I just painted.
Yeah, because everyone saw your girlfriend naked then. Your friends be
that's true. That's right. Yes, my girlfriend. She's posing for the whole class. Yeah, that'd be kind of awkward, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess
a little bit.
Blowing her kisses and shit.
Yeah, kind of weird, maybe that wouldn't work out. But
Maybe she could
yeah.
lean forward a little more. He's only drawing her from behind.
Yeah, you're like,
But no, she was a redhead, and she was quite a buxom young gal, and curvaceous, and really good model, the kind you want to draw, right? As opposed to like the vagrants they pulled off the street and said, "Take your clothes off." They're like, "Whatever," you know. And you're like, "Oh no, no." Anyway,
Well, Aaron, so we've been on for a good hour and a half. What's now? It's time to get back to work, isn't it, my friend?
I was actually, like I was telling you, I guess, what are they saying it on the show or before we went on, about how I got home at 2 a.m, and then I had to get up to take Shelly to the doctor. Then I had to get up the next morning and take my daughter to the airport. And so I finally got sleep last night. And so I finally was able to, I've been working on the Wraith of God 100-page spectacular. I got 7 pages to go, and I'm inking a page right now. So it'll be 6 pages before you know it.
Excellent. Now you came home Sunday night. Did you? I know that you made the Bros. Did you make the Kings Monday?
I did.
Wow.
I did, but I had to bail out. And they all thought I bailed out because Malin was being disgusting, but I actually, since Ethan's watching, I want to say I bailed out because I had to go, I got to help Shelly with something. And I'm always in that situation, it's like, I don't want to disrupt the show by going, wait a minute, you guys, wait a minute. I have to leave. Thank you. You disrupt the whole flow of the show. So I thought, well, where's a good time to just kind of disappear? And that's what I did. But then they noticed I disappeared, and then they made jokes that Malin had chased me off with his horrific story of, let's just say penetration. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh, good Lord.
So it was actually pretty good timing, but for me to leave. But that was kind of one of those, I had to go, but I didn't want to disrupt the flow of the show. So I just kind of disappeared. But yeah, I did make it to Comicsgate Kings. I was on there for about 3 hours. And then the Bros last night. I did Graybeards this morning, or this afternoon. And then I got shows this weekend too. So yeah, right back at it, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, I haven't been on the Kings in 2 weeks now. So I'm looking forward to this Monday to get back on and get back into it.
Well, the temptation is, though, right, is that, and this is what Graham's doing. He's taking a little bit of a hiatus from doing streaming for the most part, so he can get some work done. And it's amazing if you stop streaming just for a week, how much work you can get done.
I know.
It's so tempting, but then at the same time, you're like, no, we got to be on the air. We got to keep the people happy.
Yeah.
And so it's striking that balance that makes it's a difficult thing, but I always say, if I had done this, if I'd crowdfunded 30 years ago and I had energy, I'd have been a dynamo.
Oh gosh, yeah, you would have. Good Lord, man.
Yeah. Who needs to sleep?
Yes. Well, there's a thunderstorm about.
I saw the lightning through your door.
Let's see if I can. Oh, I got something blocking the door. I want to see if it lightnings again outside. Look at me. Don't I look like Henry Hull in the
Werewolf of London? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's terrifying. Perfect.
Thank you. Yeah. Never had a lesson.
Hey, do you guys have Trader Joe's out there on the East Coast?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to Trader Joe's, and they've got me hooked on these things. These are like these brownie bites, right? But they're like they got sea salt in them or on them, and they're like just $2.99 for a little box of 8 of them. Right. And so then I'm going through the checkout line, and I think $2.99 for, high grade sea salt brownies. That seemed like a pretty good deal to me. And so as I'm checking out, they got this bag of dark chocolate peanut butter cups that are Trader Joe brand. I mean, 99 cents for a bag of, they're smaller ones, they're about that big. They're not like Reese's, but they're 99 cents. And I was like, their snacks here are cheap. So that's where I go to get my sugar fix now, is Trader Joe's.
Well, you live in Portland. Can't you just walk into a store and just walk out with whatever you want?
That's absolutely true. I have to break a window. I can't just walk in. I have to break a window and then take stuff, and then it's okay. But if you're a regular citizen and they know you're not a criminal, then you get busted. But if you're a criminal and they can tell you're a criminal, like if I masked up and broke a window, then I could take whatever I wanted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My Lord.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I'm not in Portland. I'm outside of Portland in
thank God for
the
that.
suburbs. Kind of like you. You're not in New York City. You're outside of New York City.
Yeah, I'm like 65 miles outside of New York City.
Oh, you're that far?
Yeah.
I thought you were like in Brooklyn or something like that.
No, good Lord. Good God, man.
Where do you live at? Or don't dox yourself. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't care. I got a lot of guns. I got a couple.
That's true. Yeah, come on over to Billy's house.
Yeah,
It's a full arsenal there.
I'm out. I'm on the middle of the island, right at the bottom. Pretty much right down. Oh, you see it?
Ooh. Wow, you are Henry Hull, man. Check it out.
I believe I just shot myself.
Yeah.
Marcus Killigrew says Trader Joe's was sold to the Chinese. Now you got to ruin it for me. Thank you,
Ruin.
Marcus.
Freaking
Jeez.
China.
No, it was
Once
not
again.
sold to the Chinese. The Germans own it.
We got Bilbo.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Great.
Hey, you know what? Were you there, Billy? You weren't on Professionals, were you?
No,
Tuesday?
I was flying home.
So Fraggett tells me you got to get this book, right? So I got this book, and I did. It's the Captain America Penguin Classics collection. It has it has Captain America #1 in it from 1941. And let's see here. Where is it? Give me a second here. There we go.
Yeah.
Baby. But it's got a bunch of Tales of Suspense, and it's got the 3 Steranko issues in it that he did in Captain America. Look, there's a nice little shot of MODOK there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
I love MODOK. But it also has like notes in it for Steranko's storytelling notes, why he did what he did. So you got this afterword by Jim Steranko here, and he goes through these paragraphs and breaks down different pages in that 3-issue Captain America story he did and talks about the storytelling and why he did what he did. I think that's pretty cool.
Oh wow, that's really. I love stuff like that.
Yeah. So on Amazon right now for $27, originally $50. You can get it on Amazon for $27. So
Look at that.
Nice.
yeah.
We got Amazon and Trader Joe sponsorship tonight.
I
Yes.
know. Look at that.
Help
I
me
get
out.
Taco Bell, and that's the trifecta.
Oh man. So all right, Aaron.
Yes.
Wraith of God Blood Hunters. You wanna share that bad boy and let's check it out, see where you are, and if you're any closer to defeating the evil.
Of Rini.
Mikulski.
Rini, but she closed so strong though, and she's making it difficult on me. But
Well, let's see where you are right now.
do I have to bring it up, or do you have it?
If you could bring, man, it's raining hard. Holy cow. Niall, do you have it?
No, I don't have it ready.
No, I'll have it in a second here, because I'll do anything I can to promote myself.
Yes. Well, if you got a second, I'll share mine real quick. What I have.
Oh,
can
see,
pull it up
you
if you
just
want.
set me up, right? You just kind of like.
No, I was going to share some of mine, but if you, you know.
Go ahead.
All right. So what I have here is we're putting together the Shi Senryaku Omnibus Edition. And I want to show you the sample of some of the pages here. So this is, I'm using the Jim Lee stratagem because people have seen that one before, the first one. So this is what the book is going to look like. This is the, say this is your odd numbered page, your left facing page, and it gives the stratagem. And if you see behind it that's Jim Lee's art, the black and white art. So we tell the story there. The facing page will then be our artist's bio page, which will have, the color art beneath it. And then when we overleaf, I have all these little notes in here and stuff like that. And then you see the overleaf, you see actually Jim's original art. So you see all the blue line and everything like that he used. And you see, like up here, if you can see, that's like his hair. He was working on the bun. And there's some stuff here. I guess that was his hair, real raw, the actual original files. And then the color art. And it's going to go like that all through the book. So I'm very excited about it. We are now, I think we're less than $3,000 away from $200,000.
Wow, look at you go. I was going to back it, but now you've got so much money, you don't need my money.
That's all right. When I was going to where were we? What show were we at? What everybody was at?
San Diego?
No, the one in Jersey.
Garden State.
I'm like, oh, I said, so I was talking to Graham or something, and I'm like, and he's like, "Hey, do you mind if I bring?" He's like, "I'll just bring your book, so I have to ship it to you, and you could save on shipping." I'm like, "Sure." So I'm like, "Honey, can you give me the names of all the bros, and everyone who's coming and who ordered Zombie Sama, and I'll just bring in the Zombie Sama books."
Well, you're driving in there, right? So you don't have to like ship all this extra weight.
Yep.
So.
And guess what? So she goes, I'm like, "Well, you got the books you like?" She's like, "None of them backed it."
None of the bros backed it. I thought it was just me.
Nope.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, Billy.
Nobody backed it. Some of the guys did, like
Wow.
Cecil did.
Now, hang on.
Dan Genovese
Hang on now.
did. Yeah.
Did you see that bus come by that just went over you?
Yeah, I know.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I am the anti-frag guy. I like to be the last person to back. When you're like, this thing is closing down in 2 hours, that's when I jump in.
All right.
So don't fret, because I do want that book. I do.
No, it's a fun book.
I want to make you sweat it out though before I.
Well, it's a very expensive book.
I know it is, and I'm very cheap.
I think.
So that's like a bad combination. That's why I go to Trader Joe's to get the inexpensive snacks.
That's right.
I'm waiting until your book comes out and gets marked down on Amazon, and then I'll buy it. So.
Thank you.
Yeah,
the faith is extraordinary.
Yeah.
Wraith of God, Blood Hunters. Everyone closing
there
in
it
on
is.
$50,000.
Yeah, we got to get to. I hit 152 on the first campaign, and that was out without being shadow banned. I'm shadow banned now, and I really think that I would have hit probably around 175 if they hadn't messed with the campaign. But I still think I can get to what I did on the last campaign. So that's about 152. So I think we can get there. There's a lot of good stuff on here. If I may scroll real quickly, there's just some of the free stuff. You get Kit Carter trading card. You get a Dan Lawless Wraith of God trading card. How about that?
Oh, very nice.
And that's all free with just the order. Adam Miller, my contest winner, and apparently he's won many art contests in CG. He's pretty good. And so he's getting a pinup in the book. I was going to do a trading card, but I thought this art needs to be bigger. So it's going to be in the book as a pinup. Now, you've also got 4 cover options. Look at the biz, man.
Yeah.
I've got that original painting, Billy, hanging on my wall right over there.
Nice.
And it's big, too. It's very cool. Wraparound cover by me. The Tales of Suspense cover by me. And, of course, the Tomb of Dracula #1 tribute cover by me. So you have all these options for covers. You've got 3 pages colored by Gabe L.T. Abe, and the rest of the book not colored by Gabe. You've got the backup story featuring Garbage Man, colored by our own Dan Lawless.
Yeah, that is extraordinary too.
Night of the Living Jed. There's a little black and white art there. The nightclub story, which is another backup story, colored by our own Kelsey Shannon. That's looking very, very sweet as well. And then
look at the inks on these.
This is a secret inker. I will reveal it when the book gets published.
Oh, okay.
Big name inker is working on this. And then, of course, we have Kit Carter, Galactic Ranger. We have 15 pages of Kit Carter strips in this as well. That was a stretch goal. So it's now, the book will actually be 108 pages. 99 of it will be story. So you're getting 100 pages of a comic for $25. You can't beat that with a stick. No, you can't. And then you've got Garbage Man prints if you want to get one of those, and the Wraith of God Roughs Volume 2, which does like the layouts for the book and everything. So it's kind of cool to look at my layouts and then kind of compare them to what the finished page ended up looking like. If you signed up early, you get the Merv the Astro Chimp trading card, which is also we call the Phil Diaz card. If you didn't sign up early, you can still buy it. So
you should have Phil sign these.
I know. I should.
We love you, Phil Diaz. We love.
Look at all this. Oh no, this has been a running joke because it's like every time I draw this monkey now, because of how Phil has his sideburns and everything. It's like I see Phil every time I draw this monkey now.
You can't see it. You can't.
Once we hit the 150,000 mark, which we're going to do, we're going to get a high quality double-sided bookmark with new art designed especially for the bookmarks. So
Wonderful.
we got shot glasses, we got hats, we got all sorts of fun things. So back early and back often, as they say.
Outstanding.
Mhm.
Yep, absolutely. Well,
And I'm
we're
only
forward to
less
my
than
back.
7 pages from being done. So
Perfect. And then again, next year, you're going to have a lot of stuff at San Diego Comic-Con. And hopefully a bunch of our friends will join us again. I have to put together a cigar night. I guess I'll just have to make it an early night because that show is so spread out. It's tough to do that. And again, it's so exhausting, right, Aaron? I mean, even after dinner, if you remember, Debbie's like, "Nope, I want to go. I'm done." If you walking ahead of us and stuff, and
we were. You're pretty tired out by it, and it's just a couple days in, and you're pretty tired out. By the time Saturday night rolls around or Sunday, you're just like, "Oh my gosh," because it is epic, and there's that many people and that much energy in the room. It's exhausting, especially for us guys that aren't quite as young as we used to be.
No.
But I bought some old comics there, Billy, as I do. And
what did you end up getting?
Oh, you want to see?
Yes. Well, we got a few more minutes. Let's do it.
Let me run over here to the comic book closet.
All right, let's do that. You have a comic book closet?
Yeah.
All right, let's see, Aaron. Let's go full screen on you. Oh, look at that. Look
Gorgeous.
at that. By George. Gorgeous.
On to fear number 14, The Origin of the Old Witch. That's a Graham Ingalls cover.
That's the one on the top, right? That's the one on the top left?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. These are early ECs. This was 1952. And after these series ran for a while, these headshots were replaced. These were all done by Feldstein, Al Feldstein.
Mm-hmm.
But they ended up using Graham Ingalls' Old Witch here, Johnny Craig's Crypt Vault Keeper, and then Jack Davis's Crypt Keeper in here. But in the very beginning, they were all done by Feldstein. So that's how you know this is an early EC. But Graham Ingalls' cover, he was a huge inspiration to Wrightson. So, yeah, I don't collect a ton of these, but there's a few key issues I'm looking for, and this was one of them, so I was glad to get it. Yeah. This is about a fine plus. So
hey, Aaron, real quick, EC, who bought EC? Did anyone buy EC?
No, that was Bill Gaines owned it, and then because of the Comics Code stuff and the Seduction of the Innocent, all that crap, he quit publishing all that stuff and just published Mad Magazine.
Is that in the public domain now?
No, not that I'm aware of. No, I know for a fact it isn't, because I did a cover featuring those characters on the price guide. Oh, which I have right here. That was one of my price guide covers.
Oh, excellent.
And yeah, JC had to get permission from the Gaines estate to do this. And they said, well, if it was the 100th anniversary of Bill Gaines', I guess, birthday, right? So he would have been 100 if last year. And so they said, if you do a cover sort of commemorating Gaines, then we'll let you use the characters. And so that's what I did.
Exceptional.
So there you go.
Exceptional.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lopez, you don't mess around, do you?
That's right. And I got another cover coming out next year, another price guide cover, thanks to our good friend, Mr. Vaughn.
I know, and I think, again, the big book traditionally has debuted at San Diego Comic-Con. It debuted when I did a tick cover for them, and also when we did a sheet cover for them for the 20th anniversary.
Well, apparently it's printed on the back of this year's big book, my cover. So saying, hey, next year you'll get this.
Yeah.
And it's a Phantom Lady because they're encouraging us to use non-copyrighted characters or characters in the public domain, because it becomes increasingly more and more difficult to get permission from these companies to use these characters on. And I understand they just don't want the hassle, and I don't.
Isn't
don't
Phantom Lady DC though?
They have their version, but the Golden Age version, where she's in a red and blue original costume, that's public domain. What they changed, she has a red or yellow and green costume now with DC, so that's their version of Phantom Lady. But that original version of Phantom Lady that I want to say Fox Publications were doing, that is public domain.
Wow.
So
wow.
There you go. So I got to draw a saucy babe, which, I'm never going to complain about that.
No, sir. Nice gams.
Look at Eric. Look at Eric Hutful saying, "You already mentioned that, Aaron." Yeah, I know, Eric. I'm just trying to.
Well, Kevin
you know,
Ryan says the
a little
Phantom Lady in
self-promotion.
all yellow and green is public domain.
No, he's wrong. Sorry. It's the red and blue one is public domain. The yellow and green one is the DC version. Now that may be public domain too, because I don't know what the details on that is, but I think that was DC's version. So I guess I shouldn't say you're wrong, because every time I do that, I end up being the one wrong. But my understanding, that's how it.
Yeah, you've been known to get a little too big for your britches there, huh, buddy? Sometimes
I tend to mouth off and then wish I hadn't. So.
Well, we're gonna call it a night. This Aaron, thank you so much for coming on. I'm so happy
thanks, Aaron,
that you had such a great San Diego Comic-Con. I'm so
you
excited.
too.
Yep, I'm so excited that we're coming back. Hopefully, we get some more of our pals to come too and let them, try to get a booth. It doesn't hurt to try, right? And please, guys, the con's over. We're back to work now. We have Wraith of God 2, obviously. Blood Hunters is on Indiegogo right now. She Return of the Warrior. I'm sorry, she Senryaku Omnibus. I don't know where the hell I am. Is also on Indiegogo in demand.
You got too many Japanese words. They're confusing.
We're not doing them anymore. I'm not doing the Japanese words anymore. The next one is She Gate Crasher. Again, I got
There you go. But what's Gate Crasher in Japanese? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
it's a Gate Crasher.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun. That book. I'm gonna actually be reaching out to all my pals, because that book is going to be the Destroy All Monsters of independent characters and public domain characters. Oh yeah. So she's going to get trapped in comic book time, and she's got to fight through the decades and the genres to get back home. So she'll be on fighting against dinosaurs and Nazis and zombies and all the crime and horror, and J.C. Vaughn's writing it, all the various genres to get back home, if you will. But we also, again, if anybody wants these will start shipping out next week. Our She exclusives. Also, we're going to be loading up some of these, the Comics for Ukraine books. And if you guys can support us, that'll be on www.billytucci.com. Lopez, I understand that you are in charge of next week's Professionals.
Oh, I am.
You're not prepared for it.
No. I totally. Oh, it's going to take a lot of work. It's actually going to be maybe more work than the game show, and it's sort of a game show, but it's not. What I'm going to do is it's a little something called This or That, and everybody gets a category. You'll get several options. It just won't be one. We'll go through till we burn up good 2 hours of people's time, and it'll be like Billy Tucci, and I will show you 2 pictures. And for an example, if I did a comic book character, I'd say, do you prefer Iron Man or Shang-Chi? Or pardon me, Iron Fist or Shang-Chi, just for an example, right? And then you're going to say, well, this is what I think. And then we will all make fun of you. And then we'll move to the next person. We'll do the same thing. But I'm going to try and gear the categories to, like maybe you would be like, what do you prefer, Indian motorcycles or Harley? Something like that. See?
You see?
It'll be kind of fun. Do you like cake or pie? So it's just like a fun little conversation starter. I think we'll have fun with it.
I think it'd be a lot of fun, that one. Looking forward to it.
That's right. I'll ask Art, do you prefer blowing fatties or shooting heroin? And see what he says.
or murdering children.
Yeah, exactly. Serial killing or eating cereal.
So Scalawag, we got some fun things. We're going to load up. We loaded up the Comics for Ukraine panel.
Yeah.
The comic book couples panel that I had at San Diego, which was a lot of fun. We were drinking. We got in trouble. Let me show
for drinking.
Yeah. The woman who wasn't even the volunteer.
That's right.
Yeah, so she was a volunteer. So she's the volunteer to run the panels, whatever. And then she was off. She's like, oh, and I was on a panel earlier with her, and she's really sweet. And then we set up for the comic book couples right here. This is this is us. And I say, and then she's like, oh, I'm done for the day. And then she sees us drinking wine, and then she calls her boss and says, are they allowed to be drinking wine? They're drinking wine at the panel. So the guy comes up and gives us paper cups to put it all in and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh man, I'm in huge trouble. So then she comes back and brags to me that she's the one who actually did that.
Well, like kind of stick it in your face kind of thing.
Just like she didn't realize it. She didn't realize that she was doing anything wrong. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I got fined $4,000 for that.
Oh, did you say that?
And I said, I didn't even know we're going to come back next year now. I'm in big trouble. Like, and she got so upset. And I'm like, no, I'm just kidding with you. But don't do that anymore. Don't tell anybody anything.
Did you ever tell her the truth?
Yeah, I told her the truth. But it was another great lie by Billy Tucci. So, yeah, and that was that. But and then next week we'll load up the Warrior Returns panel, or this weekend, Niall. I don't know when you want to do that. I'll get you those files tomorrow.
Probably load up tomorrow if you give me the files.
I'll get you the files tomorrow. We'll do it.
Give me those
files. I want to thank tomorrow is my son William's 21st birthday.
Happy birthday to him.
Yep, so excited. And we're going to take him out to dinner. I'm actually, like I said, I'm going to give him some money. Say, go buy the wine. Go buy the booze for the party. Let him pay.
You have to get out his driver's license and actually buy some booze for the first time legally.
Yes, for the first time. Yeah, he doesn't drink though.
Okay,
right?
good for him.
He's very responsible. We're very
good for him
with these good kids. But and that's it. Lopez, what's next? What do you got to talk about aside from the Bros next Tuesday and the Kings Monday?
Well, I've got Comic Art Convo on Saturday. I got Aaron Live on Sunday, where Pete Samete will be joining me to talk about independent comic publishing. He's a wealth of knowledge, and I find him fascinating. And we will do that. And as I said, I'm finished up the last 7 pages of Wraith of God Blood Hunters, and I'm getting ready to put up this early sign up for the Kit Carter Galactic Ranger graphic novel, which will be my next project. So.
Awesome. When are you thinking about launching that?
Well, I wanted to wait until I fulfilled, but that'll put me probably into late October. Fulfilled Blood Hunters, and I don't want to launch that late because it's too close to the holidays, and I think people's money is going other places. So I'm going to launch it in September. Smart. While Wraith of God Blood Hunters is at the printer. I think everybody trusts me at this point.
Yeah.
And then, we'll launch that in September. And the interesting thing, this is going to be an experiment for me because I'm doing those old Marvel style 8.5 by 11, like Death of Captain Marvel and those things. 64-page graphic novel, just like that with Kit Carter. And then I'm going to get a top-level professional will be inking it for me. So I will be done with it in 6 months as opposed to taking 8 to 12 months to get it done. Then I'll be able to launch Wraith of God 3 Fear Hollow in June.
Ooh.
So I'll be able to get out 2 campaigns in a year as opposed to 1 a year. So we'll see if that formula continues to work for me, but that's kind of my plan. And I will say as a teaser, I talked to a couple sculptors at San Diego. That's all I'm going to say for right now. That's all I'm going to say for right now.
You can't. Oh. Well, I hope
it's all happening. It's all
and I want to thank everyone for coming to visit us at San Diego Comic-Con. And I want to say, if I may be so bold to say, our kilts were huge hits.
Now wait a minute. Is what she's wearing? Is that a kilt or is that just a skirt?
No, it's a mini kilt. It's my family tartan. Mine is 11 ounce. Hers is
okay. Wait a minute. Is there such a thing as a mini kilt, or are you just?
No, it's like a new thing they make. But the people that make kilts, they now make them for women, and they're called mini.
Right.
Kilts.
So basically, they make short kilts for hot women. Is basically what you're saying.
Basically, yes.
Okay. All right.
And so there's Debbie, and that's our clan colors, my Elliott clan. And I think I'm going to be wearing a kilt to Baltimore Comic-Con. We're going to have another whiskey night, whiskey and cigars. But it's not gonna be Hawaiian shirts. So Scout, get yourself a kilt.
Let's get a kilt.
Do you go all natural underneath the kilt? What do you
I will.
Not
I'm gonna climb up and jump off things so it flies up.
Oh my gosh! Now, is there some sort of appropriate attire that you're supposed to like wear under a kilt? Is there something that goes with that, or is that just optional? Up to you, whatever.
Bicycle shorts.
Yeah.
Well, no, but back in the day when these guys were wearing kilts and playing the bagpipes, I mean, what were they wearing?
In my defense, at the Comic-Con, I wore underwear underneath it. First of all, you also don't want to be stinking your kilt up by, fighting away there and stuff. But I wore underwear because there's children there. So God forbid, right? There goes two chicks
Right.
escalator.
Oh, yeah.
I hear a poor child scream. They're like,
Yeah.
there's not enough pedophiles in comics already. I got to get labeled one of them.
The girls will swoon, the children will scream.
The women will
Oh.
swoon.
Exactly.
I think on that one, that's a good one to take us out. So,
Ended on there's enough pedophiles in comics.
yeah, that's right. When is Dan Genovese? You have to come. You guys have to come. Baltimore Comic Con is actually it's 16 ounces. Mine's 16 ounces. Debbie's is 11 ounce. That's the thread. Baltimore Comic Con is September 9th, 10th, and 11th, right, Scala?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Yeah, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And it's a great show. So we'll be having a good time there. And we'll have our She Senryakus because we'll have started to fulfill in early September. So I'm very excited about that. We'll have some Senryaku hardcovers. And Lepresti, this might be a stretch, buddy, but you might have Wraith of God 3 maybe for San Diego or no? If you're launching
No, it'll be funding at that point because if I
Oh.
launch in June, I'll launch the campaign in June. It'll still be funding, but it's you always got to have something in the cooker, right? So you've got your spread of stuff you've already done, and then you say, and this is coming up next. So you want to take,
And maybe you could even have something cool like a little mini print for everyone that shows you that they actually backed Wraith of God 3.
Wow, look at you! You've got ideas.
It's exploding out of my head.
I want to go. I should have gone to fabric school. I would be
Should
much
went to
better
fabric?
at this.
What did you say, Tucci? Who's that fella Anna introduced you to? Oh, I think it was Peaches.
Yeah, her
The cute,
fiance.
cute fella.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Thank you all for joining us. Scala, you have anything to say? Take us out, or
No. Have a great weekend, everyone.
have a great weekend, everybody.
We'll see you next week with some new shows.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
All right. Have a good one. Thanks, Aaron.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Aaron.
guys.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the Pop XP and over on Instagram at the Pop XP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.